What's going on? It's VolcanoBeats, the Sampler King. You know where you at, live in the lab, Pots and Pan Audio. Today, we get into the most wonderful time of the year. For some people, it's Christmas. But for us gearheads, you know what time it is. It's NAMM. NAMM 2024. The full thing is back, baby. I went last year. It was okay. I went to the last full one in 2020. And this one is the first full one since then. So yeah, I'm excited because I'm hearing a couple of my favorite manufacturers are bringing some heat. I'm hearing a couple not gonna be there, but this week we're gonna talk about my top 5 things I'm excited to get more info on and possibly down the line getting my hands on. I don't think I'm gonna make it out this year, but we'll never know. You never know. I might be broadcasting live from the floor next video. We never know. We'll see. But before we do all that, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come rock with me. Let's come into the stew, wipe your feet. Let's get it going. All right, here we go. Let's get into the 5 things I'm looking most forward to getting information on in this NAMM season. You know, Christmas for us gearheads. Number 1 is the Korg PS-3300. It's a monster. I remember talking about the Cherry Audio joint when they replicated it. Obviously, they already had this in the works. I can't say I called it or I predicted it because this was in the works already when that one came out. That one only came out a couple months ago. It took more than a couple months to recreate this monster. They did it bar for bar. The only thing they changed, they added the resonator thing, like a little bit modern twist, and they added 1 key. It's instead of 48 note polyphony like it was back in the day, it's 49. So that's dope. It's a 3 oscillator monster, and I just want to see it, man. Like the pictures of it look like it's gonna be the real deal. I was there the year when the FS the 2600 FS came out, and they hadn't sold out yet, so I had hope. But by the time I got home, they all was gone. So all hope went away. So I'm excited to see this one. I have no hope with this one, because that one was 3800 and I had to think about it a little bit. I probably can handle the 38 now, but this one is 13,000. So I'm probably, the only time I'm ever gonna see it is if I do make it out to NAMM, or if I end up being, I don't even think, because the stores here in Chicago don't have scents like that. So we not gonna get one. So I'll probably never see this thing if I don't make it out to NAMM. So that's giving me an incentive to get out there, because I remember saying it on the video, like, man, if I could ever use one of these in real life. The Cherry Audio recreation that I demoed a few months ago. So I'm really excited that they actually coming out with this one, man, because when you think of like monster polysynths, Korg is the last thing that comes to your mind. That's why I'm so excited about it, because I love all the Korg like 70s mono synths, you know what I'm saying? So the MSs, 10, 20, the micro. So yeah, I like the 70s Korg mono synths, but I guess because the big boys are so rare, you rarely hear people talking about like they polysynth. So I'm excited. I heard demos of like the original. Obviously I love the Cherry Audio. I want to feel that thing in real life. Knob per function is phenomenal. I think the only thing, they kept it true, just like the Prophet 5 or like the Mini Moog, you know what I'm saying? How they kept it true to the original, but just gave us a couple modern twists. I think they did that same thing on here. They gave us USB. So I'm not sure if they did MIDI, but I think USB is on it. So yeah, I'm excited. That's the first thing on my list of the top 5 things that I'm excited for this NAMM season. The Korg PS-3300, yes. I predicted it. I just say I predicted it. I predicted it a couple months ago. I told y'all it was heat. Korg agreed with me. They brought it out, but nah, for real, keep it real though. Yeah, man, that thing looks like it's gonna be a monster, and I can't wait to get my hands on it one day, possibly, hopefully. If it's out, that means I got a chance. I got a chance. I would have never thought I'd play a memory mode and stuff like that, but I have. So we'll see. I played ones and all that, so those are closer to that price range. So you never know. I might get my hands on one. We'll see, but I'm definitely excited that they got it out. It's high end for sure. The sim collectors with a couple coins, them the ones who gonna have them. But hopefully us bums, we get to put our hands on it at least. Number 2 on my list. This one feel like blasphemy almost, man. Like, we going back to Korg with this one. The Microkorg version 2. This thing came out over 20 years now at this point, and they bringing out a version 2 after all this time. They had what was that, Microkorg XL? That one had the it didn't have the Microkorg, it didn't have that original MS-20 engine in it though. It had the well, MS-2000. Let me not disrespect the MS-20. It didn't have the MS-2000 engine in it like the Microkorg did. It had the engine from like their latest like workstations or whatever. So like what was that? The one they had before Chrome, it had that engine in it. So it didn't never have that analog sound like that one did, even though the Microkorg is not analog. So I'm excited to see what they did with it. I saw that they put a touch screen on it. It kind of looked like they kept some of the same DNA far as like you going through patches, which is cool. There's still a few knobs on it. But I just want to see what they did with it, man, if they really made a version 2 of it, because the Microkorg is one of those things where like everybody's had one, whether like you a serious synth collector or a serious synth player or a producer, or it was just like something that you wanted to play around with once in a while. Everybody has had put their hand on the Microkorg in the last 20 years. And I'm gonna go out on a limb, the Microkorg is one of the most important pieces of electronic gear ever made. I remember I told this dude that, he was looking at me like, I'm like, nah, you gotta think about it, man. Before the Microkorg, there was no synth that was like $400 that was like quality, in my opinion, like at least give you some quality sounds. But because of the Microkorg, and they made so much money doing it, like they may not admit it and just say one synth saved, but I believe that synth probably is the reason Korg's still around, to be honest, man, because like they held on to that Triton way too long. They repackaged it in so many engines. It was whack at that time. You know what I'm saying? So by 03, it was whack. 02, when the Microkorg came out, the Korg engine, the Triton engine was whack already, and they still hung on to it for like 5 more years and put it in like 3 or 4 more products. So literally the popularity of this thing, and just the micro mini synth, because it was small synths out before, but they had full size keys. The Microkorg, one of the first ones that had the mini keys, which that's a better or worse thing. I'm not a real player, so obviously I feel different about it than somebody who really know how to tickle that ivory. They probably feel different. They like, man, this the one that started this damn revolution with these little mini keys. I know how to play for real. Y'all play around. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. So different people, different strokes for different folks. But for me, the Microkorg, because without the Microkorg, the reason it's like a Kevin Bacon thing, or 6 degrees of separation, or a butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it. If you don't get the Microkorg, then you don't get the mini log. Because we got the mini log changed everything when it comes to like an analog synth for $500-600. That was a great synth. So you need the Microkorg for that to happen. I believe the Microkorg was never invented, we wouldn't have got the mini log, and the mini log wouldn't have changed the whole like electronic synth making industry, feel me? Because after the mini log, everybody had to come out with a true analog synth that was less than $1,000. It was not many. I think the Mofo was like literally the Mofo, and like the Slim Fatty was like the only analog synth you can buy. No, the Micro Brute, Mini Brute was too. It wasn't a lot. The mini log took it to another level, and the Microkorg did that first. So that's why the Microkorg is so important to me, and that's why it's always gonna hold a dope spot in my heart. I probably had like 3 or 4 of them. I never owned the XL, but like OG Microkorg, I probably bought and sold like 3 or 4 of those joints over my career. So I remember I got some crazy sounds. I remember the first time I heard it, I was knocking stuff off the walls. I'm like, how's that sound coming out of this keyboard? This is crazy. I don't even know why I didn't keep it. I probably went through a broke era, and I think that was one of my broke eras where I had to sell stuff. So I got rid of everything. But like, yeah, the Microkorg 2 is coming out. I don't know all the specs of it. I said I didn't want to get any teasers because, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to NAMM or not. So I wanted to wait till I got my hands on it. So fingers crossed, we'll see, man. Like, I got some production work that I need to finish, so I don't know if I'm going to get it done like in the next 48 hours to be able to make my way out there. So we'll see. But yeah, Microkorg 2, nonetheless, is one of the things I'm really looking forward to seeing. It seemed like this year is gonna be the Korg takeover. Like, it's a couple years, like it seemed like one manufacturer is like making a lot of splashes. Not saying they just got the best stuff, but just like making a lot of headlines and splashes. It seemed like Korg is on that this year, so we'll see. Number 2 on my list, the Microkorg 2. We're gonna see what it got. All right, here we go. Number 3 on my list It's a classic. It's back. It seems like my list is full of classics, but it's back. The Heritage Audio Grancchild 670. What is it? It's their take and iteration of in the 500 series of the classic Fairchild. This thing is like, I want to see what it sounds like, man. I hope they give us good demos so I can hear it, because it's like one of those things that I always felt like it was out of reach, man. Like you heard somebody had a Fairchild, oh man, like it's rare, and if you can get one, it might cost you 40 G's. Like I don't have 40,000 to spend on a 2-channel compressor, or the 660 might cost you 30 G's. And now between Heritage and like Fairchild coming out with the new version themselves, and there was a few other ones, the Unfairchild, I think Stam has one, so it's a few options out here, but I like the Heritage one because they gave it to us in a 500 rack, 2 spaces, stereo. Come on, man, like it's two G's. It's not like cheap or nothing like that, but it's still like compared to like what the other ones are, like, cause you know what I'm saying? Like it's the last thing in my vocal chain with my Apollo. So I run my vocal, whatever mic, through a Neve, through a LA4, whatever, and it's the last thing before I go into the DAW. And it's also the last thing on my mixes when I'm bouncing out. So I use the Fairchild, the digital version, a lot. That's why I was excited when I saw this, because I'm like, man, if it gives me that character, at least what the plug-in do, it might not give me what the old unit from the 60s give me, because I got my qualms and thoughts about that too. Like, it's a piece of gear from 60 years ago. Is it really gonna be as precise as we act like it is? So some of that is like us like just loving stuff sometimes once in a while, but I will say just the architecture of it and the simplicity of it makes it a dope compressor to put on your vocals or put on your bus, on your drum bus. Me in the live sound setting, you can't see it's out of frame, the Behringer X32, I use their emulation on my master all the time because I want it to gel and feel gooey. You know what I'm saying? I want my mix to feel like it's spongy. You know what I'm saying? Not too limited, but some room to breathe, but not in control. That's why the Fairchild is nice. That's why I put it on my vocals. It's the last thing in my vocal chain when I'm recording. Well, it's according to the style of music. If I'm doing something straight poppy that's got to be super clean and transparent, I'm really not using a Fairchild, because I ran into that problem before. I had to record some vocals, and the artist was like, strip the beat off and just send the vocals. I'm like, wait. You just want my clean vocals? Like, and it was horrible because I was using too much analog emulated stuff. But like, yeah, back to get off my rant. But like, yeah, the Fairchild is a nice thing for my style of music. I do hip hop and lo-fi and EDM and soul, you know what I'm saying, housey stuff. So it's perfect for the vocals I record, because we don't need precise vocals. We need vocals with texture and feel. So that's why I love the Fairchild. It's the last thing in my chain. So this thing, if this Grancchild sounds even close to the plug-in, it's a win for me, because that means my whole chain is analog, and I like processing my vocals and everything through all analog. And the only reason the plug-in is so good, the UAD version, that I have to use it. But I kind of like processing my vocals 100% analog. Like I said, most of the time I use a Neve preamp. I use something like a Slate. I love Slate. The Slate mic is so like flat and transparent. When I'm adding that Neve texture, it's not too much. So that's why I like using the Slate. I use the Slate mic. None of the Slate emulations, I just like the mic, not the preamp either. I just like the mic. Through the Neve, through like a DBX de-esser, through my like LA4 compressor, then a Fairchild emulation on the console before I go into Pro Tools. So I would love to have that thing in my 500 rack to hit before Pro Tools. Double compress them vocals and they're gonna be perfect. I won't even have to really mix that joint, man. Maybe have to duck some frequencies a little bit, but that's it. So that's why I wanna use it, get it, because it made, like, you know, time is money. It probably take hours and upon hours of like vocal mixing away from my, like me having to, because I got that second compressor that's doing it in the analog realm. So yeah, I'm excited. It's a classic. I was literally talking to fam a couple months ago, man. We was talking about, man, we're gonna have to figure out how to get a 660, because we want that Fairchild sound. We don't need stereo. We just need one channel of it. But like if you're gonna give me two channels of it for 2 G's, I'm taking that. We was looking at the STAM one. If you're gonna give me 2 channels though for 2 G's, I'm taking that. So we'll see. It's real tubes in it. It's not like a fake emulation, no. They put real tubes in that joint. So let's see. Hopefully it sounds, if it sounds anything as good as the plug-in, I'm copping it. It don't gotta sound as good as the old school Grape, because 40 G's, man, like, I ain't got that. and they remaking it themselves with 30,000, 20,000. I ain't got that either. I could get 2 though. I got stuff in the rack I'm not using now, I could get 2. So yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes on that. That Heritage Audio Grancchild 670, the stereo joint. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. All right, cool. Next on my list of the things that I'm most excited about for this year, NAMM 2024. Barefoot Footprint 03s just announced. I saw them, my mouth was open for like 6 hours, like, because I was kind of salty for a second because I just bought Frontiers. We're not even gonna trip though, because they're a little bit more than the Frontiers, but they give a little bit more options. So I was kind of salty, but I do like my Frontiers, man. I like the fact that I don't have those options to change things, or no DSP options. I just got to take that Barefoot sound and just scope what I'm doing to it. I like that, but the footprints, man, like I'm looking in the background of this video, man, one of these things might be gone. Like, it's like those joints, like you get a pair of Barefoots, true Barefoots with the meme or whatever they call that little technology where you can switch the voicing on the speaker. Like we got, you can't see in the back, we got Aratone, like right over, like in the back, we got NS10s, that's one of the emulations. Aratone is one of the emulations, NS10 is one of the emulations. I think a bookshelf speaker and just like hi-fi, like the normal sound. So, man, like how you giving me 4 speakers in one with these DSP settings? Because I didn't get I didn't look into the big boy footprints or the O2s. Now these O1s, I mean, yeah, these O3s, I mean, I didn't look into the O1s or the O2s. Now these O3s, they closer to my price range. I can afford 2 G's for a pair, you feel me? So yeah, they coming in under 2 G's, and you know how that works. We'll probably be able to get a nice little deal on them in a few months. So if you can wait a little bit, you probably want to wait a little bit and get a little deal. But yeah, that Barefoot sound is a true thing. It was a mythical thing. I was working at a studio. They had a pair of Barefoots, and they literally got the micromons, the big boys. Well, not the big boys, but the micromons. They had them for like 2 weeks, and then they sold them. I'm like, and got a pair of ATCs. So I heard a little bit of the Barefoot magic before, but I never really experienced it in depth. So when I got my Frontiers, I'm like, yes, there's a different magic to these speakers. You can hear more things in the mix. If you got them set right, you can hear more stuff in the mix. So I'm excited because this is the first one that they have a ported design, which is like, when I thought about that, I'm like, oh, these other Barefoot don't have any ports on them. That's kind of crazy. It's like ported on the side, and it's one of the only ones that don't have its own like full size sub driver. So it's gonna change the sound a little bit. It's not gonna 100% be that Barefoot sound, but hopefully it gets me close there, at least as close as I can expect from a like a speaker with that small of an footprint. The Footprint 03s. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth the bread. Like I say, I got a pair of Frontiers, and I'm 100% on board with whatever Barefoot is doing. I hit up, I forgot who that was. I hit up, I'm like, oh, they coming for Adam and Head with these. They tired of y'all buying, cause cause it makes sense. It's people who can afford $20,000 speakers. It's people who can afford $5,000 speakers, and it's people who can afford $2,000 speakers. They weren't really servicing those people that could afford $2,000 speakers. We in this music industry thing, we get like bougie, like 2,000. That ain't nothing. That's 2 G's on speakers, dog. Like, so they finally made some speakers for that market. I'm like, yeah, that's the AX Adams they coming after. That's the Head type 07s, I think. That's what they coming after. They coming after people who can spend 2 G's on quality speakers. Higher than the HS level, or like the Genelec 8330, I think like on that level, that's the speaker. So they coming for that level. They more powerful than my Adams and my Genelecs put together. I did the math, man. My Genelecs are like $130 watts. and the Atoms is like 120. These joints is like 260. Like, so literally they like double the power of like either pair of speakers. I gotta turn on both pairs to get the power I'm gonna get out of these these new Barefoot. So I'm like, yeah, because what you can't see in my room is like, it's a lot of space and I be needing to fill up that space, and sometimes it don't feel like it. That's really the only reason I'm looking for more monos. They gotta be more powerful, because somebody sitting back there, I want the snare to punch them in the nose, smack them right in the middle of their nose, so they can know that yes, I'm mixing this thing. I'm not about to ruin your beat. I'm gonna make it bang the way you want it to. I need more powerful speakers, so that's why I'm looking for those Barefoot, and we definitely gonna make a purchase. It's between these 03s and these 02s. If it's the 03s, we gonna get those real soon. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they sound. Hopefully I can get a little demo eventually when they get out here on the market for real, because right now they just announced it, so they probably don't even have any like in the showrooms and all that, so we'll have to wait on that. But yeah, the Footprint 03s, I'm excited to see what they sound like, see the power coming off of them, and just the overall feel of them, how they compare to my Frontiers. Are they a step up from them? Because if they not a step up from them, then I just buy a pair of Frontiers to come be here, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully they'll step up from the Frontiers, because they're a little bit more expensive than them. So they better be a step up. It's like $600-700 more. All right, last on my list of the 5 things I'm most looking forward to seeing this year at NAMM. Y'all know I gotta go with who I love, Akai, man. MPC 37. We know it's coming. They haven't announced anything, but pictures have been floating all over the internet everywhere. It was like little detective that was like, when they announced the stems a couple weeks ago, it was like our internet detective's like, man, that mean you button in the wrong spot. That's not anything that's out. That's something new. And they was right. It's something new. People have been taking pictures of like them. I guess they transporting the stuff to NAMM now. So people have been seeing them out in the street. So I'm excited to see like what they added to like the workflow. Hopefully, because one of my only gripes with the MPC key, I brought my 61 because I got my live at the crib. I'm like, there's no point in me having a live and a 61 at home. So I brought the 61 out of here. One of my gripes with the 61 is the way it feels. It doesn't feel, it's like not connected. It's like parts just not connected. That's just how it feels to me. How's the MPC has got a feel, like the live or like the one. It's like a feel, the X of getting around on it. The 61 don't have that. So hopefully this 37 retains that. Like I say, I'm not a great player, so I'm not playing 2 or 3 octaves and doing all the craziness, so I don't need a big keyboard. If this 37 would have came out a while ago, I probably would have never bought the 61, because all I need is 37 keys. I don't need, all I'm playing is chords and gonna play some lead lines over them. You know what I'm saying? Some bass lines. I'm not sit up there actually playing it. That's not my cup of tea. That's not what I am. So I don't need the extra keys. So this would be a blessing. Hopefully they move some of the buttons so it don't feel like disconnected and disjointed. Because I remember I got this thing. I was using it every day when I first got it because it was a different feel. Then it's like a different, it's like when you taste something, you like, taste new. I like that. And then you keep tasting, you like, that's some bull. I don't like this. This don't taste all that great. I don't know what I was thinking. That's kind of what the 61 felt like to me, because it always felt like I was like reaching in 2 different spots to do things rather than just feeling like I'm just flowing on it. So hopefully, because of the smaller architecture of it, they had to combine some of that stuff so it don't feel like you reaching for different parts of the keyboard. So yeah, I'm excited to see the 30. I'm never excited about the sounds and stuff that come with it, because I got so many sounds. Like, I got so many sound modules and floppy disks of sounds and hard drives of sounds. Like, I'm all sound out. I don't care what comes on it. I care about how it feels, because that's a dope to be able to throw in a bag and you got the keys in the MPC with you at all times. Imagine that for the dudes that are the real keyboard dudes that can load up. Like, they want that Moog sound, but they may not want to take a mini Moog on tour with them or something. They can just have like all their stuff loaded up on the MPC 37 key and have it as a top keyboard to take care of all their little Moog type of basses and stuff. Yeah, man, I see it like addressing the market that's really not. It's like the Nico market, the Miko and the Nico, like the all-in-one unit. They were so dope because the smaller ones were like 37 keys. The big boy, to me, honestly, it felt more like I was going back to the Phantom Triton era. It didn't feel like all-in-one, built-in, like, whole workstation. That the 61 don't feel like that in my opinion, just because of the way you got to get around on it. But this joint, a 37 key version of it, is gonna have that feel like the Miko and Nikos back in the day. Even though I'm not an expert, I only played on a couple of them once in a while, but they did feel pretty good because it gave us a different feel. This 37 key version should give us something like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see. You know what it is, man. I'll probably end up getting one. If it feels good and it's got the buttons in the right space and all that, I'll probably end up getting one. I'll get rid of something and grab one like I did with the 61. What did I get rid of? I think I got rid of my my MS 2000 and my Argon 8 and copped it. So yeah, I got stuff I can get rid of that I'm not using. So yeah, I wanna just see how it feels, man, because I'm in a constant search, man. A constant just trying to get the best feeling pieces of gear. I don't care how a lot of stuff sounds. I've sold keyboards that I couldn't believe I sold, like the System 8. I sold it. I hate how the System 8 feels. It's one of the best sounding keyboards I've ever had, but I hate how it felt. I got rid of it. If it doesn't feel good to me, I don't want to have it because it feels like I'm doing math or I'm trying to figure out an equation, and I don't want that. So I'm on a constant quest to find things that feel good. So hopefully the MPC 37 key feel good, because some of that disjointed stuff that I'm crying about, they by default they can't do it because it's a smaller keyboard with only 3 octaves. So hopefully that solves some of the problems. Hopefully they keep the strip on there and the pads, which is gonna be harder because it's less space. Strip pads, screen and buttons. Ugh. So some may have to give, but we'll see, man. MPC key 37, I waited, I treated all these things like it was Christmas. I didn't do a whole lot of research. I just did like the first knee-jerk research on them because I really want to get a real fleshed out view of these things. So fingers crossed, hopefully these things live up to the hype, because I'm hyping them. Everybody in the world is hyping them. All 5 of these things, my favorite 5 things, I'm most excited about NAMM this year, 2024. So yeah, see y'all at the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl we all invited to, though. That's why it's dope. It's better than the Super Bowl. All you got to do is get your plane ticket to Cali. You can go. So yeah, that's why I love NAMM. This exciting time of year. My annual thing, you know what I'm saying? Every year I'm glued to YouTube or to my emails. People sending me emails all day, so I'm glued to it. So I'm loving it. In the season, we back full-fledged NAMM. If you've never been to NAMM, you need to go, man. It's cool because it's not just NAMM. It's just the energy. All the people you meet there. They got sound stages outside. People playing, bands playing. You may not ever heard of the bands. Some of the bands might be world famous. Like I forgot what band was there in 2020, the headliner. It was a dope band from like the 70s that most of us never really heard. 70s and 80s. Tower of Power. Power of Tower, however, like the horns, they was there. So yeah, it was dope seeing them, man. It was nice. So NAMM is dope for like just a way to get away, network, meet people, see new gear, and just be a nerd, man. And a lot of people who not nerds, they be there too. Like artists come and promote and network and meet people and that stuff too. Not saying that artists not nerd, but you know what I'm saying. Like some artists don't know anything about any of this stuff. Yeah, NAMM is nuts, but it could be nuts too. I remember, just a quick story, back in like 2017 or something, 18, it's so nuts on the NAMM floor that Stevie Wonder was literally 10 feet from me and I did not know he was there. I saw that I was near Stevie Wonder on a video. They recorded him playing a keyboard and I saw my head and body in the background. I'm still mad at myself to this day that Stevie Wonder was 10 feet away from me and I didn't even notice it. That's how much craziness is going on the NAMM floor. Well, I made sure that didn't happen. Last year, Jazzy Jeff and Grandmaster Flash and people like that was walking around. I made sure, what up, Jazzy Jeff? What up? What up, Grandmaster Flash? Like, I ain't missing no more legends. So if you never been, yeah, you should go. And I heard it used to be even doper back in the day. But it's still dope. Like I say, I went to the last full one. Yeah, it was nice. So hopefully this one lives back up to being a full NAMMs, because I went last year and there was a lot of manufacturers that wasn't there. So yeah, hopefully this one ramps it back up. I heard rolling is not gonna be there, which is crazy. That's crazy. That's like taking the Penguins away from the NHL or something, or taking the Cowboys away from the NFL. That's what it seemed like. Taking rolling from NAMM is crazy, but like rolling ain't gonna be there this year. So I don't know if it could be full without rolling, but we'll see, hopefully. Yeah, but you know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We still in the stew, we still rocking. We're gonna get excited about NAMM, get geeked a little bit, then we're gonna get back to work. But yeah, let's go.